welcome back to Tween Tuesday. I'm Miss Cindy from the South Brunswick Public Library. Today's craft actually seems like it might be better suited towards the end of the year when the winter holidays are. But we are going to be making a year-round summer, I suppose, wreath. We're going to be taking popsicle sticks, also known as craft sticks, in a couple of different sizes, as well as a paper plate and some yarn or some string to make our very own summertime wreath, which I think is going to be just as beautiful and festive as we get towards the end of the year, because the spring and the summer is also a beautiful time to celebrate. It's super easy and super customizable, so without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, we're going to start on our popsicle stick wreath. Let me show you what you're going to need. The most basic things you'll need are popsicle sticks, also known as craft sticks, a paper plate, some ribbon, yarn, or string, scissors, and a hot glue gun. You want to be very, very careful when you're using this hot glue gun, and you most likely want to be somewhere where you're in full view of an adult so that everybody can make sure that you're doing this safely. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is take the scissors and cut out the outer part of your plate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make kind of a small fold and just slice it off with the scissors so that I have a slit to go. That'll make it easier. If you think that the cut is a little bit messy, which it might be at first, don't worry too much about it, because once you take the middle part out, you can always go in with the scissors and adjust and fix anything that you like. But it'll be a little easier now. There we go. You can even that out. Okay. The next thing you want to do is you want to take your craft sticks and lay them out. And now you can either do it this way with the plate facing up, or this way with the plate facing down. I'm actually going to do it plate facing down. And you just want to lay your sticks out the way that you want to do it. Oh, that's the wrong size. I'm using the jumbo ones for this, but I'm also going to be using some of the small ones. Now you want to lay it out so that you know how many to use, and also so you have an idea of what it's going to look like when you're done. So I think that's probably pretty good, and what I'm going to do is just lay these kind of smaller ones in between. I'm not using all of them now because this is just kind of for the layout, but just to get an idea. So let's say that this is what I want to do. Now that I have an idea of it, I'm actually going to take my popsicle sticks and go ahead and paint them. You don't have to paint them. You can leave them completely natural colored if you'd like. You can also, if you'd like, color them in with a like a marker, permanent marker, or you can even use a like a food dye watercolor paint situation to just kind of dip dye them. You know, wood will absorb water and will absorb paint pretty readily. So whatever you choose to do that is totally fine. You can decide on what color scheme you want and how you want it to look. So I'm going to go ahead and paint them, and I will be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I painted mine kind of a sunrise, sunset color scheme. That's the one that I wanted to go with. And it was a lot easier to paint than each individual one at a time. So what I did, just to show you, is I laid them out, and I laid all of them out, but I'm only going to show you with a few. Taped a piece off, and then just, you know, painted on all of them. It made it a lot easier than painting one stick at a time. So much easier, in fact, that I actually have a lot of extras just in case I end up needing them if I decide that I want more. I would rather have more than less personally. So again, we are going to be laying this out so that we have a good kind of template for when we start. My hot glue gun is plugged in and currently heating up over off camera. So this would be a good time to just kind of let that start preheating, since it will often take a little bit. I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna start with the red in the center. I'm gonna move the camera so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I think that's a little more visible for everybody. So I'm just gonna start here. And first I'm gonna place my big ones. You don't have to have a mix of small and large. I just think it would look good that way. So that's what I'm doing. But you can do just small, just large. It's all up to you. I just want to adjust so that they're lined up kind of in a way that I think will look good. Space them out like that. I kind of want it to look like the sun, you know? So that's also why I went with this as a color scheme. Okay, so that's it for the big ones. And now what I'm just going to do is squeeze the small ones in the little gaps. And also do some adjusting while I'm here. I painted the small ones in the same way that I painted the big ones, where I lined them all up together. I taped them on one side, and then I went ahead and just went crazy and painted all the other, all the, like the stripes, not stripes exactly, but you know, the other colors and stuff. I didn't really need the extras I see now, but I'm still glad that I have them painted, and now I'll have them left over in case I do another popsicle stick craft. The thing about using big ones and small ones is that it adds a little bit of interest and kind of dimension to it, so I think it works out well. Okay, so I think that's going to look really good if I do that. So now we just get to the gluing now that the hard part is over. So again, I'm going to very carefully take my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to go ahead and start. You can start anywhere. You can start with whichever one you like. You don't need a lot of glue. You just need a dot. And I'm just separating that. I like to give it a second to dry, just so that I know that it's not going to move when I move on to the next one. But it's not going to take too long. See? It's already good. Alright, so now we just keep doing this. Okay, so the hard part is actually done. I'm just going to get rid of some glue strings here. Now, you're going to take your ribbon or your yarn. You can also technically use string, but I would say that that's not thick enough. Now, you have a couple of options for what you want to do. You can, if you'd like, poke a hole in the paper plate and go ahead and wrap this through. But I don't want to do that. I'm like worried that the paper plate is going to rip. But, you know, it's really up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around. Just going to wrap it around and just make a quick and simple double knot here at the top. Just going to cut the ends so you don't see them as much. And that's pretty much it. There you have it. We made a really cool summer wreath out of just popsicle sticks and a paper plate. So I'd say this is a pretty successful upcycling. All right, so that is it for me on this Tween Tuesday, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.